What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update. A few bits to get through today, and let's start off with that very honest Harry Winks interview from the Independent this morning, following on from his very bad form over the last couple of years and that shocking defeat out in Vitesse last night. But Sim, what's been said in this interview?
Well, it was quite a fairly lengthy interview where Harry Winks basically details about his downfall and about where the situation he's in the squad at the moment. We can read a few excerpts of the interview. He was asked whether he could make sense of his own dramatic fall when only a few years ago he was part of the England squad and a big fixture in the Tottenham team. He said, "No, I can't, but listen, the circumstances are that I'm in this situation. Of course my confidence is low. When players are not playing well, you only have yourself to blame. It's difficult. I want to be at my best, firing and playing really well. It comes with games, but ultimately it comes with me performing on the pitch when I get the opportunity. If I'm not doing that, then I only have myself to blame. I'm man enough to admit that I need to improve in certain areas. On the contrary, I need to play games, and the only way to improve is getting minutes and getting the sharpness back. I love Tottenham. I've always made it clear, but I want to play football." He added, "and I want to play regular football. The only way to play your best football, get momentum, is playing regularly. I'm giving my all for the club. Of course I am. They stuck by me and I stuck by them. All I want to do is play for Tottenham. But it's difficult when you get matches here and there, confidence is low, and you don't get that run of games." So that's what you got to say. I mean, it's pretty much, yeah. I can't remember too many times he actually has got a consistent run of games in the past. Ever since the back end, ever since lockdown, I think. I believe there was a stretch just after lockdown he was playing pretty consistently under Mourinho. And then the season started. I don't remember too many games where he was playing. I think he started the season, didn't he, against Everton last season?
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, every time he's played, he's been a complete liability. Let's be honest. So you can't expect more games, and I don't think he is expecting more games. But he's rightly proving out that he hasn't been good enough, which at least he's saying now. Before he was saying, "Oh, I need game time to get back into the England team," and what have you. At least he's recognising now that he's not good enough, and I think that within himself now he's thinking, maybe it is time for Pastage New.
That's what he hints at, doesn't he, when he says, "I love Tottenham, but I need game time," doesn't he? He keeps saying that. And now he goes on to say about the January transfer window, he says, "I want to have a discussion with Nuno when the time is right. I'm not thinking far ahead to January. I've got loads of games to try and fight for the club. There's still 2 months to go, and it's about knuckling down, working as hard as I can, and having no regrets. When the time is right, I'll have the conversation with the manager, but right now it's important that the team and manager are focused on the next games and don't try to get any distractions from me." So he's claiming he's going to try and knuckle down and try and earn his place back before January, but I don't know. I think he is looking ahead to January, I reckon.
Yeah,
but
I mean, just mentioning January is him looking ahead to it.
Probably,
you know what I mean?
I think so. But what was interesting was he was asked about Nuno's decision to leave the first 11 back in London and him being part of the second string 11 in Vitesse. And it says Winks appeared to question the decision in this little next bit. He says, "It is tough. We're meant to be a team. It's meant to be a competition. It's meant to be competitive. Everybody should be fighting for weekend games, and it's difficult. Motivation should be everybody fighting for the same cause and the same thing. But when we go out on the pitch and we're not playing in the first team, we've got to put that right and make a point and show the manager we should be playing in the team. And when we lose in the way that we did, we don't do that. It's down to us, but there's a lot of factors behind that. We're Tottenham, and whoever goes out on the pitch, we should be winning these kind of games. There are no excuses. We didn't play well enough. They outfought us. They outplayed us. They played better. They played a better way with more creativity. In my opinion, they completely dominated us, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough for Tottenham, and we've got to come to these places and dominate and win."
Yeah, I mean, the latter part of that is absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. What he's saying about the players that were in the squad, in regards to the players that were left at home, a bit of a bad feeling about that. You can't fight your way back into the team. But for me, that's a bit of a loser's mentality for me.
That's it.
Yeah. It's a bit of a loser's mentality. Like, if you're going to just say, like, it's a defeatist mentality, saying that, look, like he said in the latter part of that quote, if you're going to play in these games, you got to fight for your spot. And if you don't fight for your spot, you're not going to be anywhere near that weekend team. So but what he said before that was like, yeah, it brings a bit of a bad feeling. I don't know what the actual quote was, but it brings a bit of a bad feeling within the squad. What's the actual quote?
He says we're meant to be a team. It's meant to be a competition. It's everybody should be fighting for weekend games, and it's difficult. Motivation should be everybody fighting for the same cause and the same thing.
I get that, but I'm sorry, but he is not in a position to question the manager's decision. He is only in a position right now to knuckle down when you get your chances, grab them with both hands, and that's it. Case closed.
Definitely, I agree with that. And he should see it as an opportunity, not as like, oh, it's bullshit, I shouldn't be here. It's like, no, you're here for a reason, and you have to perform well to fight your way in. Otherwise, you're never going to get back in. He's not going to hand you minutes in the Premier League for no reason. You've got to prove yourself.
And he did hand him minutes against Crystal Palace for no reason. Was he?
Oh, no, there was a reason.
I guess there was a reason.
We had no players.
He got handed an opportunity, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Last season, Mourinho's second string team were humiliated by Zagreb, and it says, and this season they've already lost to Passos and drawn with Rennes. He says there are a few different reasons as to why that happened. First of all, players, we have to hold our hands up. We weren't good enough. We're the ones on the pitch. We're the ones that have to go out there and play. There's no excuses, but it's difficult when you don't play regularly. It's difficult to come into these games when teams have fans behind them and they're up for it. When you play one game every few weeks, it's difficult to match that energy and that tempo and that and their confidence. There's a lot of different reasons why we weren't good enough this year and last year in these competitions. Ultimately, as players, we're not performing well enough, and we're not performing well enough, and we should be. We want to win for Tottenham, to win games and pull in the same direction. When you're not playing regularly, it's difficult. Difficult to get that confidence as a team, but it's important. Everybody knows we are fighting to play for Tottenham. The motivation is to get into the team and perform regularly, but I keep saying, if we don't perform when we get the chances, it's down to us. And I understand what he's saying about it's hard to get into a rhythm when you're not playing regularly, and it's hard to play at your best. And I do have sympathy with that, but you have to have a reason to play regularly. There has to be a reason for the manager to pick you on a regular basis. At the moment, and they're not given that reason to get, at the moment, whenever they're given the opportunity to perform, they're not playing well. And obviously he admits that's on him, fair enough, but he's also kind of complaining, to play well, and needs to be playing regularly. And it's like,
we can't be affording passengers.
It's like a cycle.
You know what I mean? We can't be affording passengers where, you know what, I don't get regular game time and I can only perform once I get regular game time. We can't afford to take passengers on, you know what I mean?
It's like a vicious cycle for them. It's like,
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I can't perform regularly. I can't play well unless I'm playing regularly, but I can't play regularly unless I'm playing well.
It's not even a definite whether, like, if he plays regularly that he'll start performing. It's a maybe. It's a maybe. And like, what, we're supposed to be Nuno's supposed to pick his team on maybes. We're here and now. We need to perform. We need the points now. So
look, that's the thing. I just think he needs a move. I think he needs a move to start a team where they'll put him straight in the team and give him confidence to say, look, we know you can be that England player again, and we want you starting every week.
I've said it all along. Go join the Southampton, someone like that. Someone of that level. I think he starts week in, week out there, and he'll, he'll get game time there, and maybe he can kick on and progress his career from there.
Yeah, I think at the moment at Tottenham it's just a cycle, which is a bit like Delhi. You just can't get out of it at the moment.
Yeah. And that is the Harry Winks situation. Any more quotes there?
That's it. That's the end of the interview.
All right, so that is the Harry Winks situation. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of that interview. Let's move on. And we've got from El Nacional saying Carlo Ancelotti has requested that Real Madrid activate their buyback clause to sign Sergio Reguilón. Florentino Perez has agreed to the request, believing it was a mistake to sell the player originally. What do you make out of that?
We'll see. I remember last year as well, the same rumours were coming forward that Reguilon was they were gonna activate the buyback clause when Reguilon was in good form, and it's happening again. Look, Reguilon's in the Spain squad. He's obviously getting attention back in Spain with his form for Tottenham at the moment. I just think again, it's waiting. Look, they're not going to do it now. They're not going to buy him in January. I don't think so. It's all about his form, and I guess. But look, they've got Alaba. I know they like to play him centre back. They got Mendy. So they got options there. It's not like they're desperate for him, and it is gonna cost them 45 million if they do buy him back. But he's playing very well, so it's obviously hard to ignore where they've got a ready-made left back ready to sign. Just all they have to do is activate the clause, and I'm sure Reguilon as well. As much as we love him, and as much as I'm sure he does genuinely love being at Tottenham, but when it's Real Madrid and it's his boyhood club, it's hard to turn that down again. You know what I mean? So. If they ever look, it's a case for next summer. Whatever happens, it's nothing to worry about right now. But
next summer's the cutoff, right?
It is. It either happens next summer or it doesn't happen at all. So we'll see what happens. But I think he'll be all right. We'll be all right for now, I guess. What else can we do? And look, worst case scenario, we have 45 million to sign another left back, and as much as it will be,
we'll have 45 million.
Yeah, true.
To acquire a new golf course.
Yeah. We'll have exactly. We'll have the worst case scenario. We'll be playing Sessegnon and Davis for next season.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, reading that, I hope El Nacional aren't too of a reliable source.
They won't have made a decision in October. I know that for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I think that Reguilon's a quality left back, and I really do hope he's here for the foreseeable future. That's for sure. But let's move on. The next one is from AS, and they're saying Tottenham are monitoring PSG whiz-kiz Xavi Simons. Negotiations between PSG and Simons' agent Mino Raiola have stalled. The future of the youngster is now up in the air, but. Having read that, I think Mino Raiola and Daniel Levy probably won't get on too well.
Definitely not. And we know with Mino Raiola that he always puts things in the press to, get some movement going. So any links between Spurs and anyone when Raiola is involved is probably rubbish. And just like, how many times have you seen Spurs' name being put out there to just get a new contract? It's happened time and time again. So look, I don't know about this player Xavi Simons. I know he's a young up and coming star. I don't know how many times he's played for PSG or anything like that, but I don't know.
He hasn't played at all. He's 18.
He signed at 15, I think. He signed very young.
He's 18. He's 18 years old, Dutch, from Amsterdam. He's only played in the youth league, so
we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, we will see what happens. See how that.
Then
plays.
again, I say like Tottenham's name's usually used to get a new contract, but we have been going definitely for youngsters. That's for sure. We nearly signed that other Barca youngster, didn't we, before he moved to Leipzig? Moriba. We've gone for Gil. We've gone for Papasar as well. So that definitely is our MO at the moment.
Yeah, definitely true. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. We'll see if any more rumours come to the fore about Xavi Simons. But let's move on. Gazzetta dello Sport are talking about Tottenham, and they're saying Tottenham are a potential destination for Mauro Icardi, who could leave PSG due to limited playing time. Would be a great signing, that, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And he would be a brilliant backup striker. Does he want to be backup to go from backup to Messi and backup to Mbappe to backup to Kane and Son? That's just reality for him. So I know he's having a few marital problems at the moment with personal issues.
He unfollowed everyone except for his wife the other day.
And I think his wife unfollowed him and followed him back. I don't know what happened. Well, he's patched up, I believe. So good for him. But I would like Icardi as a striker. I think he'd be a good backup striker, but I don't know if we'll go for it because he's 30. He'll probably want high wages, so I don't think it's one the club will look at.
How much do you reckon he would cost in a kind of transfer fee?
I don't think it'd be. I know they signed him for what, 40 million or 50 million, something like that.
Yeah.
So I reckon we could probably get him for like 20. But I still don't think, but we're going to have to pay him, 100, 150 grand a week, I would assume. So I don't see Levy or anyone's, or Paratici even signing off on that when. What
if Kane goes, or if they think Kane's going to go?
Still not. I don't think we go for Icardi. Definitely, even more. I don't think we're going to risk spending the Kane money on Icardi. No chance.
Well, you say the Kane money, it's only going to be a small percentage of the Kane money, 20 million.
I don't think so. I don't think we're doing these kind of deals anymore. I don't think we want to go for short-termism. That's been pretty clear that we've seen. So I highly doubt it.
All right, let's move on to the last story of the day, and this is from the Sunderland Echo. Not sure why the Sunderland Echo are reporting on this one, but they're saying Ryan Mason is one of the contenders to replace Nigel Atkins as Charlton head coach, which will be a massive step in Ryan Mason's career to get his first managerial role. Do you think this one could happen?
I mean, I don't know if it could happen, but good luck to him if he does get the job. It's definitely be one of the, well, it must be the youngest manager in the Football League if he gets it. It would have to be, what, 33, is he? No, 29. He's not even 30, is he?
Is he not 30 yet?
No, he's not 30, Ryan Mason. He's 28, 29, wasn't he?
30 now.
No,
he's 30 now, yeah. 30 in June, yeah.
When he was manager at Tottenham, he wasn't 30. So it must be the youngest manager in the Football League if he gets it. So good luck to him. And I'm sure it will be him getting on the ladder to maybe a bigger job in the future. That's what he'd be thinking. But it'd be interesting to see if he does get it, because it's a big risk for them to hire a 30-year-old manager who's only had a few games in charge. But fair play, if they must be highly thought of if they're considering him.
Yeah, very true.
And he didn't do too bad. I know we all clown on him or whatever. Not clown on him, but we all say, he's used as like a figure of fun about being a manager. But I don't think he did too bad. I think he was difficult circumstances. We lost the cup final, but
we were actually in that cup final right till the very end, weren't we?
Yeah, and in general, I don't think he did too bad overall. I think he just had circumstances that were not very easy to deal with, and he only had a few games to solve it. You know what I mean? So he was never gonna completely solve all the issues. But we won a few games, and I don't think overall he did a terrible job.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But obviously, we just needed a more experienced head to be there.
He wasn't ready to be a manager of the club the size of Tottenham. But of course not. But I'm just saying in general, he didn't do terrible.
All right, well, that is our Tottenham update. Let me know in the comment section below about any thoughts regarding any of the news that we've brought to you today. Thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.